For crack cocaine, this is a crack pipe. For anybody that sees this at home, basically a user will put their mouth around one end, put a Brillo pad in one end, and put their crack pipe in it. They'll heat it up and then smoke it. This is a meth bong. They'll place meth in here. They'll also put water in there. They heat it up and then smoke it through the tube. And then this is a meth pipe. Again, they'll put meth in here. They'll heat it up. You can see the burn marks at the bottom. Put their mouth around the end and then smoke it. Common ways to ingest heroin and methamphetamine are snorting, smoking, injecting, and then some people even swallow it. So here I got examples of heroin. Here is an ounce of heroin. So as you can tell, it's got a gray in color to it. It comes in a variety of different colors. We got gray, I've seen purple, I've seen green, I've seen tan, white. So some dealers will change the color of the heroin so they can, it's basically their calling card. So I've had a dealer that converted theirs to green, so everybody knew that if they used green drugs, it came from him. This is black tar heroin, commonly produced down in Mexico. This is an ounce, so this is a lot here, and it's not that common. We don't seize a whole lot of this here in Davenport. And then this is an ounce of crystal methamphetamine here. So main way through ingesting this is through the smoking process, through the meth pipe or the meth bong. So common things that we see as far as dealers go, obviously one of the main tools of the trade are going to be a digital scale. So that's one of the main things that they're going to definitely need, packaging material that they're going to use, and then the lack of paraphernalia helps us prove that somebody's a dealer versus a user. As far as people at home, if I was a parent and I felt like my kid may be on some kind of narcotics, some of the things that I'd be looking for are pieces of filters, mainly like cigarette filters. So they'll cut off a piece of that, and what they'll do is, especially for like using heroin or injecting heroin, for one, they're going to have needles, but they'll take a spoon, they'll put a little bit of heroin in there, some water, and then they'll put a filter on there, and they'll cut off like a cigarette filter, put a small filter on. They heat it up, they get the heroin to dissolve in the water, and then they pull, using the needle, through the filter and pull it up into it and then shoot it up. That's one thing that I'd be looking for if I was a parent. Another thing is how the kid's acting. Are they lethargic? Are they overly excited, stimulated? What do they stay up hours on end, don't sleep at night, and then all of a sudden they sleep for 2 days straight? Those are common traits. Irrational thinking, aggressiveness, sweating, dilated pupils, bloodshot watery eyes. All those things can help a parent notice if their kids are on drugs or not. Another thing we look for is packaging material. So a drug user will have a lot of smaller baggies with powdery substance in them, and a drug dealer will have sandwich baggies or even grocery bags, and they'll have the corners missing. So they put the drugs down in the corner, they tie it off, rip it off, and then they sell that drugs to the user. How that looks like is then, if you suspect your child of selling narcotics, or a neighbor or anything else, and you find packaging in your yard, if you see a plastic baggie with those corners missing or weird tie marks or knots on the end, typically that is somebody that's stealing. If you find the corner bag, the actual bag that was ripped off, that's typically a user.